Hey everybody, it's banjo time and we got a wonderful D tune. I'm in double D, you might say, for Down the River I Go, Uncle Joe, a modal tune,
A request?
a request, and I think it's a lot of fun to play. So we're going to have a lot of C's in a D tune sort of there. So it's what happens. Starts on a nice C chord too. So thanks to our buddy Don Petty who plays this traditional tune, and that's who we learned it from. So we'll give it a go right now. And it'll be fun to play on the banjo, I hope, for you. Here we go. Well, I wish I had a needle and thread fine as I could sew. I'd sew that pretty girl to my side. Down the river I go. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. I wish I had a banjo string made of golden twine, and every time I played on it, I'd wish that girl were mine. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. One more time. Thank you so much. We'll get into the nitty gritty there of Down the River I Go, and hope we have a boat that floats. So I'm going to tweak my fifth string a little bit, which is what a banjo player usually does. Thank you, Aaron. So, like I say, the tuning, we have an A string there on the short string, and we have a D on the low string, the fourth, another A. I'm checking my tuning as I go. The second string's another D, and then you got the E, that melancholy note there, which kind of makes it sound like a suspended chord because it kind of leaves you hanging there. So why don't we first start here? Let's just look at a nice little C chord there, what that looks like in this tuning. So you have you're in the key of D, so you're back to a flat 7 chord, they'd call it, if you want to get in the number system at all there. So there's your 5th fret, D. Take it back here, 3rd fret and your 2nd fret there. So 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, 2nd, and then you put the 3rd fret, with your 3rd finger on the 1st. And so there's that. And then, of course, you're going from that C chord to a G, which you can just keep that 3rd fret 1st string and open up on the 2nd, get the, and then you have, so there's the 3 chords there in the verse music. So there's your C, there's your G, and there's your D. So your melody notes are going to be in there too. So just backing it up would be that, just using that 3rd string for kind of, you're in the ballpark of the melody there. So try that. C, G, and D. Of course, all those notes aren't the roots, so to speak. So anyway, so there's our 3 chords for the verse. And let's go ahead and go up to, for the melody, I think what we're going to do is go up for a high variation and then the low strings we're just on. So up here, we're going to start with a bar 7 and add the 8th fret here. And so you're going to have, and I think we'll walk up, I think the fiddler walks up too. When you sing it, they'll climb up. So 5, 7, and then scoot to 8 with your 3rd finger and bar behind it there, because we're going to use that bar and do this. So we're using that 8th fret and kind of hit the 5th string, and then a pull off, keeping that bar behind on 7. Pull off from 8 to 7, the 1st string, and then the 2nd string. So that's our first phrase. And the G chord is going to be a small G chord. We're just using 7 and 5. And again, we're keeping that bar 5 because we're going to do the same thing. Pick that 7th fret with your 3rd finger, hold it down, brush, pull off. So we got the same kind of pattern with the right hand, right? Note, brush, pull off with the left, 1 and 2 for the right hand for the melody. So not too bad. Then we're going to have this. The melody is just, without worrying how we're going to get it, it's 5, brush, 5, 3, pull off, and you got to have an open string. So it's 5, 3, open, and you go back to that 5th fret. You can maybe slide. So let's just try those 3 phrases there. That's the verse. So 1, 2. So you're walking up. We're going to have a pickup, which means you start early, right? So it'd be like, let's see, what would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, go. 3 and 4 get you to start. C chord with the pull off. G chord with the pull off. 5, brush, 5, 3, open, slide, 3 to 5, and you go back up. Second and 5, pull off to 3, open first, 2nd string, and then you can put your D chord down, just the high string. So let's do that again. That's the verse music, and that's where you're going, whatever verse you want there. But we had, wish I had a needle and thread, fine as I could sew. I'd sew that pretty girl to my side, down the river I'd go. So it'd be on that right there. You can hit the low strings for fun. It's kind of a drone. Experiment with how much you want to hit. 1, 2, put the D chord down. Okay, great. Now the second part is down the river I go. It's going from a D to a G, and it's really that 5th fret. So we'll just keep it nice and easy. We're just a pretty easy going tune, so we're not going to get too fancy with it. So that 5th fret, and again you could slide a little bit, but 5, pull off the 3 and open. Then you're going to get that G chord, 3rd fret, 1st string, 2nd fret with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, and the 1st string's your melody. And you catch that 5th string as a melody note. Go, brush, Uncle Joe. Okay, so the first phrase, 5, pull off, open G chord, brush thumb, 1st string. Then you're going to be back to that first phrase, 5, pull off, 1st and 2nd, put your D chord down. So I like the slide, that's nice. So let's look at playing that verse low, and what I'll do is I put some words in there, in the PDF or whatever I give you with the banjo or whatever. We'll figure it out. So you have the words and the chords, and mix and match. And what happens, I think, if you're playing the melody in between singing, you might play the backup. So let's just look at those chords we did for the the verses that working that 3rd string. We're going to get the melody in there, you got to get a drop thumb. You got 3rd string and a brush on the chord. Then you're going to have index on the 3rd, your thumb drops on the 4th, and you get the 5th fret. And then you're going to cross over. Your index is going to get the low string again with the 2nd fret, and back to that 3rd string, putting your D chord back down. So that's the trickiest lick, playing it low. Let's just make this our pattern. It could be behind the singing, or if you want to get more melody, let's try doing walking up, same. And maybe do a pull off. G chord. There's that drop thumb. If you want to get the actual melody, you can do pull offs from 2, 3. You walk up, open 2, hold that chord down for a second, then you can move over to get that 2nd fret behind and do a pull off. You could do a slide. Something to keep in mind when you're doing these tunes is slides and hammers and pull-offs. All those things can be mixed and matched different ways, depending on how easy or hard it is to finagle the notes you need there. And you pick the one that's the easiest. And if none of them are very easy, you just leave out some notes. The banjo's great for not having to do all the notes, especially if you have a fiddler or playing with you. So I'm going to try that. Walk up and do the chord, and then get my finger ready to pull off, open, G chord. And then I might just do a pull off this. It'd go down to there if you want to get it. But it's almost, if you have a fiddler, especially, just do a little pull off and suggest. Then you have that D chord, drop, thumb, 5, 2, third string, walk back up, G chord, D, drop, thumb, low string. You can go ahead and get that. If you do that, it's a pull off from 2 to open, and get that 5th fret low, and then you're in the D chord with the 3rd string. Might as well try that. Maybe hammer that. Pull off 5, D chord down to the low. So the second part would be low. It's going to be nice and easy. You have that 3rd string, keeping a D chord, and the same drop thumbs. Okay, and then it's a G chord. So I guess really, a lot of people would do. Let me think about that a second. Some of them might get a nice bar there, 5 all the way over to that 7. But then Joe, Uncle Joe, and someone might just get that 5th fret low and do a. It's hard to get that. So I think I would just kind of straighten it out. I'd probably do something like that. So I'd probably do something like that. 3rd string, drop, thumb, 5 and 2, 5 on the 5th, the low string, 5th fret, and the 3rd string just back and forth slower. What I'll do is just do it high, you know, the verse music and the chorus, and then I'll play it low, and you have the choices. If I was singing just that, again, if you're singing, you don't have to do all the melody. You can just think of your D chord you like. Just doing something like that, copying. When I play that 5th fret bar, it's just copying the open strings and that 2nd fret. So if you slid that down and had to fret the open strings, it'd just be that shape, right? Might catch that. So for back up, down the river I go, Uncle Joe, down the river I go. You could even get that. It's part of the notes there. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe, down the river I go. Down the river I walk it up, baby. Down the river I go. So here's the melody. I'll walk up. Sing the chorus. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. Down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Down the river I go. So that's got a lot of. It sounds good on the higher strings. It sounds great on the low strings. Just remember when you're singing, you might want to do less, and maybe you just be thinking of the chord structure and find sounds you like. And then as you get more comfortable with the melody, you might play more melody as your backup while you're singing. So, down the river I go, Uncle Joe. Have fun with this song and tune, and always with your banjo. So, take care.